It's 2 a.m. You're alone in your apartment. The phone glows in your hand. Notifications stack up. Work emails, group chats. That one message you've been avoiding. Your mind's racing. Tomorrow's to-do list. That thing you said yesterday. Did it sound stupid? Should you have said nothing? It's loud in your head. Not the world. Your own thoughts. They're heavy. They're fast. And you're just sitting there. Trapped. Not by life. By your own reactions. Have you ever wished you could just stop? Let the world spin without you. Not to quit. Not to run. Just to breathe. To find a moment where the noise fades. Where you're not chasing, not reacting, just still. There's a woman out there. She's rare, not loud, not flashy. She walks through a crowded street. People rush by, phones buzzing, voices shouting. She's untouched. Not because she's above it, because she's found something else. Her own rhythm, her own path. They call her a Sigma female. Not alpha, not beta. Something else. Someone who doesn't need the crowd's approval, who doesn't bend to trends, who lives by her own rules, quietly, deliberately, free. She's not here to save you. She's not a hero. But the way she moves, the way she chooses, it might feel familiar. Like a part of you that's been buried under the noise, under the rush, under the weight of reacting to everything. Have you ever felt that pull to step back, to let go, to just be? This isn't about becoming her. It's about noticing. Noticing what it's like to live with less noise, less hurry, less need to prove anything. Let's walk through her world. Not to learn a lesson, not to fix you, just to see, to pause, to find something light. If you've ever felt your mind spinning like this, leave a sign, a like, a comment, not for me, not for fame, but to help this video find someone else. Someone who needs a moment to breathe. Just like you, she's in a coffee shop. The kind where everyone's glued to their screens. Laptops open, phones pinging, people chasing likes, deadlines, approval. She's at a corner table, alone. A worn book in her hands. Coffee steaming, no rush, no need to be seen. This is her first trait. Independence. Not the loud kind, not the look at me kind, the quiet kind, the kind that feels like freedom. She doesn't need the crowd to tell her who she is. She doesn't check her worth in their glances or their words. She's not against them. She's just separate, like a tree standing tall, roots deep, unswayed by the wind. Stoicism teaches this. Focus on what you control, your choices, your path, your peace. She's mastered that. Not because she's perfect, because she's chosen it. Think about your day. How many times did you check your phone? How many times did you wonder what they thought? That coworker, that friend, that stranger online. It's heavy, isn't it? Carrying their opinions, letting them steer you. She doesn't, not out of pride, out of clarity. She's asked herself, what do I control? And the answer's simple. Her thoughts, her actions, her time. When was the last time you did something just for you? Not to post it, not to prove a point, not to fit in. Just because it felt right? Maybe it was a walk, or a moment you turned off your phone, or a choice you made without asking anyone's opinion. That's her world. A world where she's enough. Not because she's loud, but because she's true. She's not running from people. She's not hiding. She's just free. Free to choose her path. Free to say no. Free to walk away from what doesn't matter. Stoics call this sovereignty. The power to own your life. Not the world's version of it, hers. It's not about being alone. It's about being whole. Whole enough to stand without leaning. To move without following. Picture yourself in that coffee shop. The noise around you. The pressure to keep up. Could you sit there? Could you let it all pass? Could you choose your own rhythm? She does. Every day. Not to be different. To be herself. And in that choice, there's peace. Not the kind you chase. The kind you find. When you stop running. Now imagine her in a meeting. Voices overlap, ideas clash. Everyone's trying to be heard. She's there, quiet, not silent, just steady. People notice her. Not because she's loud, because she's calm. This is her second trait. Leadership. Not the kind that shouts, not the kind that demands. The kind that guides. She doesn't need a title, no corner office, no spotlight. Yet people turn to her when the room gets chaotic. When decisions feel heavy, they trust her. Not because she's perfect, because she's clear. Stoicism teaches this too, clarity in chaos. She sees what matters. She cuts through the noise. Like a lighthouse in a storm. You felt this, haven't you? A moment when everything's falling apart, and someone steps in, not with answers, just with calm. That's her. She's not trying to lead. It just happens. Because she's steady, because she's thought it through, because she's not swayed by the storm. When was the last time you felt that pull to step up? Not to win, not to shine, just to help. Maybe it was a friend who needed advice, or a project that was sinking. You didn't shout. You just did what felt right. That's her gift. She leads by being, by staying true, by choosing what's real over what's loud. She's not here to take charge. She's here to show a way through the noise, a way that feels solid. Stoics say the best leaders don't create followers. They create more leaders. She does that. Not by preaching, by living, by letting her actions speak. Think about your life. The moments you've been pulled to react, to argue, to prove you're right. What if you didn't? What if you just stayed? Stayed calm, stayed clear. That's her power. Not to control others, to control herself. And in that, she changes the room. She's walking through a park. People around her share everything. Their lives on screens, their thoughts in posts. She's different. She holds back, not to hide, to savor her depth. This is her third trait, mystery. Not the kind that's cold, the kind that's alive. She doesn't need to tell the world who she is. She knows. That's enough. While others chase attention, she's content. Content to keep some things hers. A thought, a dream, a quiet moment. It's not secrecy, it's choice. Stoicism values this. Guarding your inner world. Keeping it yours. You've felt this pull, haven't you? To share less. To keep something sacred. Maybe it's a journal you don't show. Or a walk you take alone. That's her world. A world where silence isn't empty. It's full. Full of meaning. Full of truth. When was the last time you held back? Not out of fear, out of strength. Not to seem mysterious. To feel whole. She does that. She lets the world wonder. Not because she needs their curiosity. Because she's enough without it. Her mystery isn't a mask. It's a mirror, reflecting what's real. Reflecting what lasts. Stoics teach us to live for ourselves, not for the crowd's applause. She lives that, quietly, deeply. And in that, there's power. Not the kind you shout, the kind you feel. Picture yourself in her place. Could you keep something just for you? Could you let the world guess? Could you find joy in what's hidden? She does. Not to be distant, to be true. And in that truth, there's freedom. Life hits hard sometimes. A missed deadline. A fight with a friend. A plan that falls apart. She's there. Not shaken. Not broken. This is her fourth trait. Resilience. Not the kind that ignores pain. The kind that faces it. She feels the sting. She's human. But she doesn't let it own her. Stoicism calls this the discipline of action. You can't control what happens. You control what you do next. She does that. She steps forward. Not with anger, not with despair, with clarity. You've been there, haven't you? A moment when it all felt like too much, and you wanted to give up. But something kept you going. A quiet strength. That's her. She's not immune to pain. She's learned to move through it, to let it teach her. When was the last time you faced something hard and chose to keep going? Not to prove anything, just to stay. She does that. Every time life tries to pull her down, she stands. Not because she's fearless, because she's resolved. Her resilience isn't loud. It's not a speech. It's a choice. A choice to focus on what's hers. Her thoughts, her actions, her peace. Stoics say the obstacle is the way. She lives that, turning pain into growth, chaos into calm. Think about your own storms, the moments you've wanted to react, to lash out, to quit. What if you paused? What if you chose her way? Not to win, to endure, to find something stronger in you. That's her gift. And maybe it's yours too. She's sitting in a quiet room, a book open, a question in her mind. She's not just reading, she's searching. This is her fifth trait, depth. Not the kind that boasts, the kind that wonders. Her mind is a library, not of facts, of questions, of truths she's chasing. Stoicism loves this. The pursuit of wisdom, not to be right, to be clear. She asks why. She digs deeper. She's not afraid of what she finds. You've felt this, haven't you? A moment when you wanted to understand, not to show off, to know. Maybe it was a late night thought, or a conversation that stayed with you. That's her world. A world where questions are treasures. When was the last time you let yourself wonder? Not for an answer, for the sake of it, to feel your mind stretch. She does that, not to be smart, to be alive, to find meaning in the quiet. Her depth isn't for display, it's for her, for the joy of knowing, for the peace of understanding. Stoics teach us to seek truth, not to own it, to live it. She does, quietly, constantly, and in that, there's light. Picture yourself in her place. Could you ask a question? Could you chase it? Could you let it lead you somewhere new? She does. Not for applause, for herself. And in that search, she finds something real. Life changes fast. Plans shift. People leave. Nothing stays the same. She's there, unfazed. This is her sixth trait. Adaptability. Not the kind that bends to please, the kind that flows. She doesn't fight change. She moves with it, like a river around a rock. Stoicism teaches this. You can't control the world. You control how you meet it. She meets it with grace, not because she's weak, because she's wise. You've felt this pull, haven't you? A moment when everything shifted, and you had to choose, fight it, or let it be. That's her. She chooses to flow, not to give up, to stay true. When was the last time you let go? Not out of defeat, out of strength, to let life move, to find your place in it. She does that, not to follow, to lead herself, to find peace in the change. Her adaptability isn't surrender, it's power. The power to choose her response, to find calm in the storm. Stoics call this the art of acquiescence, accepting what is, shaping what's next. She lives that every day. Think about your own changes, the moments you've fought, the plans you've clung to. What if you let them go? What if you chose her way, not to lose, to gain, to find something lighter? That's her gift. And maybe it's yours too. She's at a party. Laughter, noise, everyone's connected. She's there, but not fully. She's cruising. This is her seventh trait, selectivity. Not the kind that judges, the kind that values. She doesn't need a crowd. She needs meaning. A few close souls, not 100 names. Stoicism teaches this. Guard your time, guard your heart. She does. Not to be cold, to be deep. You've felt this, haven't you? A moment when you wanted less. Less noise, less people, more truth. Maybe it was a night you stayed in, or a friend you chose to keep. That's her world. A world where less is more. When was the last time you said no? Not to hurt, to protect, to keep what matters close. She does that. Not to be alone, to be whole, to build bonds that last. Her selectivity isn't rejection, it's care. Care for herself. Care for those she lets in. Stoics say to choose your company wisely. She does. Quietly, intentionally. And in that, there's strength. Picture yourself in her place. Could you choose less? Could you choose better? Could you find joy in what's true? She does. Not for status, for peace. And in that choice, she finds something solid. She's alone in her apartment. A problem arises. Something breaks. She doesn't panic. She, A-C-T-S. This is her 8th trait, reliance, not on others, on herself. She trusts her own hands, her own mind, her own heart. Stoicism calls this self-sufficiency. You are enough. She believes that. Not out of arrogance, out of faith. Faith in what she's built. You've been there, haven't you? A moment when you had to figure it out. No one to call, just you. And you did. That's her. She doesn't wait for help. She moves. Not because she's alone, because she's enough. When was the last time you trusted yourself? Not to be perfect, to be capable, to find a way. She does that. Every time life asks her to stand, she stands. Not for applause, for herself. Her reliance isn't isolation, it's power. The power to face what comes, to shape her own path. Stoics teach us to depend on reason, on virtue, on ourselves. She lives that, quietly, always. Think about your own moments, the times you've doubted, the times you've leaned on others. What if you leaned on you? What if you chose her way, not to be alone, to be strong? That's her gift. And maybe it's yours too. She's talking to a friend, not just talking, building. This is her 9th trait, a strategy, not the kind that manipulates, the kind that cares. She doesn't collect people, she chooses them, like pieces of a puzzle, not to use, to connect. Stoicism values this. Relationships aren't accidents, they're choices. She makes them with purpose. You felt this, haven't you? A moment when you wanted more than small talk, more than numbers, a real bond. That's her. She builds bridges, not for show, for meaning. When was the last time you chose someone? Not out of need, out of respect, to share something true. She does that. Not to have more, to have better, to have what lasts. Her strategy isn't cold, it's warm. Warm with intention, warm with care. Stoics say to love those who share your path. She does, quietly, deeply. And in that, there's beauty. Picture yourself in her place. Could you choose with care? Could you build something real? Could you find joy in what's deep? She does, not for gain, for truth. And in that truth, she finds something lasting. She's learning something new. A skill, a thought, a way to be. This is her 10th trait, growth. Not the kind that chases perfection, the kind that seeks better. She's not done. She never will be. And that's her strength. Stoicism teaches this. The work is never finished. The work is the point. She embraces that. Not to win, to become. You've felt this pull, haven't you? A moment when you wanted to improve, not to impress. To feel alive. That's her. She's always moving. Not to a finish line. To a better today. When was the last time you tried? Not to be the best. To be you. To take one step. She does that every day. Not for glory, for herself. For the joy of it. Her growth isn't a race. It's a journey. A quiet one. A true one. Stoics say the good life is growth. Growth in wisdom, in courage, in peace. She lives that always. And in that, there's light. Picture yourself in her place. Could you take a step? Could you learn? Could you grow for you? She does. Not for the world, for herself. And in that growth, she finds something true. She's by a window. Rain taps the glass. The world outside rushes. Cars honk. Phones buzz. Lives collide. She's still. Not escaping. Not hiding. Just being. Her life isn't perfect. She doesn't have all the answers. But she has something rare. A way to live true. She's the Sigma female. Not loud. Not showy. Just herself. She's found a way to pause. To let go. To carry only what matters. Not because she's better. Because she's chosen it. Chosen to live with less noise. Less rush. Less need to prove. You don't need to be her. You don't need to change today. You don't need to fix anything. Just notice. Notice what you can let go. Notice what feels light. Notice what's yours. Your thoughts, your choices, your peace. The rain keeps falling, the world keeps spinning. And you can pause. Not forever, just for now, just to breath, just to be.